Hello and welcome to another episode of It's the Vibe podcast. You are with your host, Megan. I hope you are having a beautiful Easter long weekend if you're listening to this in real time. And we have enjoyed, I should say, the beautiful sunny weather that we had up until today. It is now raining outside. I've had to close my window because, it's just torrentially downpouring and thunder and lightning, which is awesome. So, yes, but it's been amazing. I had a beautifully spacious weekend. I had a couple of days in the boat as well, which was really, really nice. I have not taken the boat out for that long, in such a long time. So it was awesome just to be able to cruise along, do some kneeboarding, do some wakeboarding, all of the fun things, and spend quality time with Cody and his family. So yeah, it's been awesome. So it was very spacious in that I also had some time to just kind of like sit down and see like what does the next couple of weeks, months, like even the rest of the year, what does that kind of look like for me? So I had some really great time on Good Friday, just doing a bit of work, stint kind of like, and I actually worked from a cafe, or actually the pub, just down the road as well. So it was awesome to be able to sit there kind of like in my element, looking at the river, doing all of my things and like letting my I don't know, my creative mind just go a little bit nuts, which was awesome because with that came all the other fun stuff, which was kind of like my questioning in my head. So like why, where, what, how, all of that other stuff. So it was good to be able to kind of work through that. And I've made some decisions, I suppose, based off of my pondering over that time, which I am very excited for. They feel very, very aligned. So watch this space. They will all be coming. I have another busy week ahead. So I'll be back in my hometown, driving back to the city. So we'll do that tomorrow. Which will be Tuesday, which will be today, I suppose, when you're listening to the podcast in real time. So be in Adelaide for the week and then heading back to Adelaide for the weekend. So I'm looking forward to smashing this week as well. And also last week, which is very exciting, I announced my very first in-person event and workshop called Content Queen. So if you are a business owner, a social media manager, or you are interested in growing your following at all, also monetizing your platform, also turning your followers into buyers, your content into your community, etc., all those things, that is what I'm going through in Content Queen. And if you listen to the end of the episode, I have a very special offer for my podcast listeners. So keep listening. I've got a really exciting episode coming up for you, but also, yes, you can take advantage of this special offer just to my podcast listeners, which I'll go into detail at the end of the podcast. So let me stop crapping on. Let's bloody get into it. So the podcast today and this week is entitled, Are You Trying to Afterpay Your Goals? Okay, so this concept was something that we talked about as part of within the mastermind that I'm part of with Caity and Grace. So it was kind of like Caity is the absolute queen of analogies. Like she will literally come up with any analogy, and being the visual person that I am, it just seems to speak to me in such an impactful way. So the analogy that she came up with was, are you willing to pay the layby of your goals? So obviously Afterpay and Layby are two like opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to like financially repaying something, right? So Afterpay, you get the thing and then you pay it off, or Layby, you pay it off in bits as you go along. So we talked about this, and kind of like floated around, I guess, the different ideas and kind of what meaning is behind it. So I guess meaning, are you willing to pay are you willing to have the goal sitting there and then be financially paying it off or working off your layby till you get it? Or are you expecting that you can get the thing and then you'll be able to pay it off after? So I guess this is also kind of like manifestation 101, right? So we declare what we want, we know it's ours, and then we take inspired action to get there. So like you would lay by a purchase, you know the purchase is sitting there, you know you're going to get it, but you have to kind of like pay it off. And this is a financial payment, obviously, financially pay it off to kind of get there. So you sit through the delayed gratification, and if we use, I don't know, clothes as an example, like you picture yourself wearing them, you're like, oh my God, that just is going to look so good. Doing all the things you need to do to get hold of it, expanding yourself in order to be in an energetic match for it, and rolling with any kind of setback. So I'm using, I guess, business as a better example in this because, delayed gratification in business is like, I don't know, key and fucking skill you need to learn, and also learning lessons and doing all the things you need to do to hold on to it once you kind of get that, and expanding yourself in order to be an energetic match for it and rolling with the setbacks is like how you sum up fucking business success in a paragraph. So as opposed to after paying it, i.e. trying to get it first and then paying it off. So this applies in life, in health, in everything, right? Like it's literally everything when you actually break it down and think about it. So if you ever think about your goals, where are you trying to bypass the work you have to do in order to get what you want? Okay, so as I said, I'm going to use businesses this for this example because, like, one, it's front of mind, but two, it is incredibly relevant to what I will be talking about in Content Queen as well. So we all want the successful business, right? So if we're in business or we're thinking about starting a business or whatever that may look like, okay? So the business, what does successful business look like? So one that pays our bills. It allows extra time and money, extra time with our family, extra money for holidays, the big social media following and the courses and products that we launch and we sell out of, right? We've seen other people do it and we want it for us, like now. So we start the business and then tomorrow we're like, fucking oath, like let me get, a viral reel that's going to sell out all of my product, or let me go nuts on TikTok and I'm going to sell all the spaces in my mastermind, or I'm going to launch a course and I'm going to sell 10 of it straight away with a 2K price tag to it. Okay. We've seen other people do it and we just want it for ourselves. What I will say is that typically with that example, you're seeing a different part of that person's journey. So can you have that for you? Obviously, yes, 1,000% we can do that. But can you afterpay it? Definitely not. You can't have it now and then pay for it after. So your goal or what you want, your order on Layby, right? So example, again, the dream business. So your Layby repayment. So if you think of this, not just like physically or financially, just kind of like paying off, obviously there are some financial investments in terms of like, if you've got a product-based business, you have to buy, purchase, make whatever the products. And then we run websites and we do all of the things, right? So that's in terms of like financial pay downs, drawdowns, debt repayment, whatever you want to call it, off of your goal, i.e. your Layby. Okay. But the other energetic and like arguably harder repayments we have to make. So the early mornings, the late nights, the missed events, the creative blocks, the showing up online, overcoming the self-doubt, massive one, finding a circle of friends that support you, working through imposter syndrome, and also working while you're seeing your friends on socials doing stuff. Okay. So with each of these actions, your quote unquote debt becomes less and less and less. Okay. So with all of these things that we're doing, i.e. inspired action, you're moving towards the business of your dreams. Your goal is coming closer to you because you're chipping away at those things you need to do in order to, one, get the business, but two, maintain it. Okay. So it's however many months down the track, you've done all of these things, you've built this business up, and then you reach your previous goal. Okay. And you're like, shit, this is awesome. So all those things that I had to learn and do are now super easy, which means I can maintain the success. Okay. I just earned it or like paid it off, like whatever kind of terminology agrees with you. We've got that. So what I will warn you with this is you will hit your goal and then you will immediately want to go bigger. So just a little heads up there. So you've done all of the things, you're already kind of like wired to be able to do them. Your mind already fires a particular way when you see an order for a product come in, that you need to fulfill that order, send it out, keep up notifications, ask for a product review, check in with your client or your customer at the end of it. In order to get that client in on board is, you need to make sure that your marketing strategy is on point. You need to do all of these things in the lead up, right? And then it becomes rinse and repeat. Okay, you get your success formula, rinse and repeat, away we go, trialing new things, keeping what works, letting go of what doesn't, and then that's it. However, if you were afterpaying it, right, we're able to afterpay it, like, whatever, the angels above came down and they said, here is the business. Okay, here it all is. It's working. You've got a social media following of 20,000 people. You've got a product-based business with 5 different variations of the product, 5 different SKUs. You've got, this is your fulfillment, this is that, whatever. Okay, all those things you're going to have to do anyways. Right? All the things you were avoiding in order to get there in the first place, you're going to have to fucking learn how to do. And guess what? You already got the established business to run. So the orders to fulfill, the community to maintain. All the while, you've got no fucking idea how to even get a product onto your website. You've got no idea how to even see how you've got an order. You've got a larger audience to show up in front of and no ideas where to get your stock from. right? And don't even start on course creation, etc. Right? So see very, very, very different energies. You've already done the hard slog when you kind of like lay by your goal, right? You've already done all of the things energetically that you need to do, financially that you need to do, systems wise, operations, everything's already fucking set up, you're good to go. Whereas if you would just be handled it, right? Here it is on a silver platter, handed your goal, and you're like, okay, cool. So like now what, right? So to sum it up, getting your goal without the work isn't as amazing as this sounds. Okay. Conceptually, yeah. Like here's the $10,000 a month business. Here it is, like go nuts, right? But maintaining that is going to be considerably harder when you haven't done the things you needed to do in order to get there in the first place. Okay. So just keep that in mind. And it's like, you know, we hear of people winning the lottery and then just losing it, or people getting lipo and then putting all the weight back on. Okay. The journey of it all, without getting too philosophical, is really the fun part, because we get to the end result and it's like, okay, cool. Like we can celebrate the absolute fuck out of that. But what you're also going to be able to do is celebrate a shit ton of milestones along the way. Okay. And you might pivot a million times along the way too. Likely you will. So you'll end up with something that is so amazingly perfect for you because you've done everything that you need to do. You've tried, you tested, you failed, you've succeeded. You've done all of these things to get to the end result where you're like, okay, cool, this is it, right? This is me. I'm all encompassing. This is my business, right? So one of the biggest parts in business I can help you with right now is your content. Okay. So now I'm talking about Content Queen. If you're in Adelaide, I am hosting a workshop, as I said, called Content Queen, and it is going to be held on 28th of April at Cilio Wines in One Tree Hill. So it's for my Adelaide gals or maybe my SA gals. Be totally worth the road trip, I promise you. So you'll be surrounded by other women in business looking to up their content game and convert followers into sales and content into a community and money making exercise. So I'm going to run you through my 4 content pillar framework that also covers everything you need to know to grow your socials, but also make sales and connect with your audience, which is super, super key. So as part of this, I am gifting you, I think it's like nearly $600 in like courses and strategy sessions, a free month in the frequent flyer membership, and like a heap of other stuff. So all the dates are obviously in the link I'm going to give to you. But the best part is I am giving my podcast listeners, as I said, a 50% off discount code. So if you jump through to the checkout using the link below, the code is It's the Vibe. I'll leave that in the show notes as well. So if you're in Adelaide on the 28th of April or would like to be, come along and soak it all up. It is the most beautiful venue. I'm so excited. It's set among vineyards. We have the most beautiful restaurant. We have a beautiful outdoor area with a gazebo. We have a ceremony area with flower garlands. Like the most creatively inspiring place I could possibly think of to hold an event is where Content Queen is going to be held. So I am going to limit the seating numbers. One, just for, I guess, space and capacity. I can probably have more than I was going to I was intending to, but then I went down and actually set it all up. And the amount of chairs, even for the amount of people I'm looking for, is like, holy shit. So it's really expansive and exciting for me. So yeah, as I said, if you have any questions, drop into my DM, let me know, send me an email, do whatever. There's like a billion different ways to contact me. Otherwise, head to the website, chuck in the discount code and come and join me. I hope to see you there. And that's it for me on this episode. Super short and sweet one, but just a really awesome concept just to kind of think about when you think about short, or yeah, cutting short, whatever. Trying to get the easy way through to your goal, because I can guarantee you it won't be as fun. And when you reach that, it won't be as rewarding. So that's it from me today. I love you so much, and I will catch you in the next episode.